What are your thoughts on LeBron addressing critics of the Westbrook trade?
Well, Sel, it makes me wonder if LeBron actually has some doubts himself. Now, obviously not publicly and maybe not even consciously, but it makes me wonder subconsciously if LeBron is even worried. LeBron would never admit it, and because in all honesty, his conscious thoughts are probably like, no, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. But as we all know, you only address something if there might be a touch of truth to it. LeBron doesn't comment when people message him or DM him or tweet at him saying he's not a top 20 basketball player, because that's ludicrous. It's asinine. It's just dumb. He pays no mind to it. But let someone comment and say that this Lakers roster is too old. Let someone comment and say that it's not going to work between him and Westbrook. Now he can't get it off his mind. Remember, you all, it was August 4th that LeBron James put out the tweet saying that the Lakers roster is not too old. It was August 4th that LeBron James then went and deleted the tweet that kind of chastised the critics of this newfound Lakers roster. This means that LeBron James has had this in his head and his heart for 10 days, y'all, because he put it out there coming at the critics, and then he deleted it. Then 10 days later, now he comes back on IG with it. That means it still bothered him. He was still perturbed by it. My thoughts are simple. I think that LeBron James subconsciously actually is a little bit worried, or at least realizes there's a morsel of truth to what the critics might be saying. LeBron James only posts on social media about his movie now, his family, his kids, and hooping. He don't bother with the critics at all. So the fact that this Westbrook issue and the Lakers not being able to make it work has captivated his mind for a week and a half, that tells me there might be truth to it.
Acho, I don't have a problem with LeBron responding to his critics. And I appreciate your psychological deep dive. I think there is something to that. And I agree with the idea that we only respond to things that hit us in a certain way. But for me, it's not what LeBron does, it's how he does it in this case. First of all, this whole, I agree, it's not going to work. That's sarcasm. And the fact of the matter is nothing has happened to prove otherwise. LeBron working out with Russ Westbrook, they're both gym rats. They're both conditioning fiends. I would expect no less. And guys coming into Vegas and getting some work in and while their summer league teams are playing is not out of the ordinary. But it's this combination of, he's the king of the overreach, essentially. Like, posting a photo of him and Russ Westbrook working out with the tagline, just two old guys working out, would have been having fun with it and still sent the same message, yeah, we're here getting some work in and hanging out together, rather than trying to give it some meaning. And then we throw in the cryptic line about Phil Handy, the Lakers assistant coach, who I assume is the PH and was working them out. I'm not even sure what that line means, but there's always this exclusivity when it comes to LeBron and social media posts. And if you really want to connect with people, you're inclusive. You don't kind of throw out these mysterious lines. Kevin Durant often has the same issue and is misinterpreted as a result of it. So, again, I have no problem with him responding to the critics or letting us know that he and Russ are getting together and working. But there's absolutely nothing that is going to be proved at this point, working out together in Summer League, that's going to answer the critics' question. Because it's not a matter of can they get along. It's a matter of can they stay healthy and last through an 82-game season, and can they work together on the floor? And there's nothing about working out or standing next to each other with their hands on their knees other than, oh, those guys are old and gassed, that message portrays. But he's trying to make it sound as if it's something more than it is.
I see what y'all doing up here. Y'all trying to turn me into a Laker defender. Not gonna work. I'm still a Clip City, Chip City fan. However, I must defend LeBron James in this moment once again.
Oh, we did it! We did it!
Oh, man, I hope all of y'all YouTubes go down. Don't try and frame this on me. But I have to defend the truth because I'm always chasing the truth. One, I've just noticed from these athletes today that it's the new wave. as the kids would say, they got time today. Me, I ain't got time. I got 4 kids at home, and look, I am not going to rob them of their face-to-face times because I'm on social media trying to answer some people who I don't even know. However, the kids today, they got time today. And LeBron's not a kid, but he's younger than me, so I'm just having fun with it. Let me start off by also saying that in general, I don't mind you responding to a critic. It's just about what are you saying, and are you saying the real? Like, that's it. Now, when do you address them? How do you address them? All depends, because we all know at different times in our life, we have different emotional space. Let's just be real about it. Based on your mood, based on the time you have in that moment, based on if you're hydrated like me at a game, you might have some time to just go shoot back or punch down at some people. But Acho says something that's interesting, and I've always challenged this, because people always say, hit dogs holler. That's obvious. You hit a dog, dog gonna be like, what you do? If someone hits you with direct criticism right here in the heart, you're gonna respond. Or throw something at a dog. You ever did that? Just throw it at a dog. Grown at dogs holler too. That means you didn't hit me, but hey man, why you even attempting to hit me? Thrown at dogs. I think this is a thrown at dog. He ain't get hit by the criticism. He just like, the hell they think? I'm LeBron James and I'm teaming up with another all-time great and y'all just poo-pooing on it? So here's the thing. I have to protect. The reason I'm coming out with this take, because I'm a truth teller, but more importantly, I got to protect the few things that are still pure. Rap and sports are 2 things in their mindset. It's not just good enough to win. I also have to beat you. Y'all know the difference? I don't want to just win. I want to also beat you. So LeBron James knows he's winning. He already knows he's won. But now he's like taking on this new battle that sports and rap intentionally wants, which is not only am I a winner, but you a loser. So he's looking for the opponents out there, and it seems like he got 2 on this step.
The reason I don't agree with you, Sel, is because LeBron doesn't usually acknowledge criticism.
Well,
like if LeBron was KD, I'd be like, okay, you know what? I think nothing of it, because you throw it KD, he'll holler, so to speak. Like he don't care if it's accurate, inaccurate. He gonna challenge you regardless. But LeBron only ever truly addresses something when it might come close to home. Again, if somebody said we're on IG clowning your boy, oh, Acho, you're an idiot. I wouldn't pay much mind to that. Acho, you had a lower tier NFL career. Wait a second now, because I'd be like, you know what? There's some truth to that. Come at me for my intellect. I'm too confident in that to address you. LeBron James, the only reason, Sel, think about this. For 10 days, it's festered on this man's heart. 10 whole days.
No.
He posted it, Sel. He deleted it. Nothing of it. We ain't hear about it since.
Yeah.
Critics ain't really talking about it. Preseason games are going on. Dak Prescott got a shoulder injury. NFL is kind of underway. We haven't talked about LeBron James on this show since that day. And now all of a sudden, you still got this on your mind to fire off a tweet? That means it was still bothering you. Imagine the relationship, the argument with somebody you're in a relationship with. And after 2 weeks, and I'm still mad you didn't put the toothpaste cap on the toothpaste tube. That was 2 weeks ago. Why are you still bothered by it? To me, Sel, LeBron James would only still be bothered by, or even still be mindful of this ancient criticism within the sports industry, because 10 days is a long time in the sports world. He would still be bothered by this ancient criticism if it actually, for some reason, hit his conscious thoughts or hit his subconscious thoughts.
Yeah, that comment about a conversation still being on your head 2 weeks later kind of hit a little home for me. So you're going to have to give me a second. By the way, this is the only show, I think, where you can hear about the psychology of LeBron and dogs on the very same show. It doesn't happen anyplace else. I am only going to give half of this to LeBron, though, in terms of feeling like it hit wrong. And I'm going to give the other half to the media in terms of him showing up with Russ in Las Vegas and the photos and the video and, oh my God, look who's sitting courtside. As if this is an extraordinary happening for teammates to show up at Las Vegas and watch their sit courtside and watch their teams play. I mean, why couldn't we have said, hey, look, Kawhi Leonard's in town. He's not wearing any wrap on his knee. Wow, he could be back for, like, we could expand on that and make it into something. This is the problem. And again, it's not all LeBron's fault in that the media grasp on something. LeBron shows up for the first time since he was first introduced as a Laker at Las Vegas Summer League. There was no Las Vegas Summer League last summer for him to show up at. So what are we saying? Ultimately, I would hope that these guys would be getting together. I would expect that these guys would be getting together. And I don't have a problem with LeBron going out there and letting us know that they're getting together. Just don't try to convince me that you've answered the critics in any way, because we weren't questioning whether you guys would get together or you would try to make the most out of this situation. It was a question of, can you guys play 5-on-5 together? And that question can't be answered until we get to actually playing games. So this feels like I got to hurry up and respond to the criticism. I'm going to try to convince you otherwise, when there's no means to do that at this point.
Interesting. Look, there are parts of what you guys are saying that I agree with in terms of, like, holistically, you shouldn't answer the critics because they're going to beat you down with experience in terms of criticizing. They're going to find something new to move the goalposts with, right? Exactly. So I'm not upset at that. But I am upset that we think that LeBron James is thinking about this all the time. Like, I don't know how you guys post on social media, but to me, it's a pretty, like, spontaneous event. It's like, oh, yeah, yesterday. First of all, I'm not an Instagrammer. I'm a later-grammer. Whatever I post is going to happen. Trust me, it happened before. It ain't happening in a moment. You ain't catching me live on nothing. I'm going to show you what I did. And in that moment when I'm riding my bike, I'm like, oh, yeah, we went to the game yesterday. Oh, yeah, I went and saw Lil Wayne. Oh, yeah, this is a true story. I saw Russell Westbrook last week in Vegas. And when I saw Russell Westbrook, I'm not a critic of the move, but you know what we talked about? Him coming back home to L.A. where he's from, and the Lakers. Like, y'all got to remember, it's 10 days old to us. It's every single second of the day to them, because everywhere you go, there you are. Russell Westbrook can't go anywhere and not hear about the Lakers. And LeBron James either. So I don't think he's so mindful of negativity and was sitting there biting his fingernails, waiting to get back online to respond to critics. It's just like, oh, I just heard somebody say something like they don't believe in us again. Let me go out there and do this. Our show, media, TV, is the rundown of this. Our topic selection ain't how LeBron James thinks and plans his day. He doesn't know if the criticism is this high or not, because LeBron James is living a life that is going to be a little different than the average Joe. I need to see Acho for this, because it's the last point. Got to hammer this home. He says, Acho told me that LeBron doesn't answer to his critics. But when that movie came out, Space Jam, that I still haven't seen, Space Jam 2 or 1, his first post about it was what? Hi, haters. Like, LeBron James lives in this different universe, brother, where maybe the only fun is to look at the one trying to come and snipe him, because to LeBron, it ain't just about winning. It's also beating you.